Hello everybody, Flamin' Rainbow G here. Hope you're having a good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is wherever you're at. Today we got kind of a different video. I just wanted to tell you about a recent experience I had. Recently my family got tickets to be able to go see BTS in Las Vegas. And it was supposed to be my sister, brother, and then their spouses. Well, it ends up my brother-in-law wasn't able to make it. So 2 weeks before the concert was supposed to go down, my sister reached out to me and was like, doesn't look like my husband's going to be able to make it, and I was wondering if you would want to go instead. And I was like, well, I don't really know BTS that well. Like, I've heard of them, and what I've heard I do like, but I was like, I don't know if I'm really going to enjoy them to the fullest extent that I can, because I don't really know that much about them. I'd mentioned that to my brother as well, and both my sister and brother were like, oh, don't be silly. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a lot of fun. They also mentioned, it's in Las Vegas, and Army is what BTS calls their fan base, BTS Army. They said that they're super friendly and they're, super kind and everything. My family knows that I'm trans, kind of closeted. Like, I'm out to them, I'm out to certain specific people and stuff, but I don't really, I live in a pretty conservative state, unfortunately. So I don't really go out and like flaunt it or nothing like that, but my family knows. And they were mentioning like, it's Las Vegas, Army is super nice. Like, they've interacted with them before. They said, they're like, it's going to be great. Everyone's going to accept you. And if they don't, we're going to be there and we're going to kick some ass if we need to. And I was like, well, I mean, it's been a while since I've been able just to relax and be myself. So I was like, that doesn't sound too bad. I kind of want to check it out. That doesn't sound too bad. I would like to go. So I was pretty excited, but I was also really nervous. I'm not like a super social person. I haven't really dealt with like huge crowds too often. My town size is like a size of like right about 60,000. And like, I've been to places like Denver and stuff before, but never like the jam-packed places. I've never been to like the crazy busy places or anything like that. We were, flying in one day. Next day was the concert. Following day we leave. So it's not like we were going to be there for a long time anyways. We were basically just sticking to the strip. And the strip is just tons of LGBT plus friendly areas in generally. Plus Army are also just super accepting of everybody from all walks of life. Just a bunch of loving people, basically, is all they are, from what they were telling me. Another thing is, personally, I don't feel like I pass too well. You kind of hear it in my voice for sure. And then looking at me, it's just, I got like the 5 o'clock shadow and stuff, and I try to hide it, but you can only do so much. And so I'm very insecure and self-conscious about how I look, especially when I'm dressing and stuff. And so that was a whole nother reason I'm super nervous. But they assured me, my family assured me that everything was going to be okay. We get up at 2 in the morning so we can get to the airport on time. It was a super early flight. We get on the flight. Everything was super smooth. And my sister was kind of like the head of everything, the lead of everything. She had everything planned, the plane tickets and everything. And plus, like I said, I was thrown in 2 weeks before they were even gonna go. These guys had this stuff planned for like months in advance. They were ready to go as soon as the tickets were announced. They're like, we're getting tickets, we're going. They've known for a long time. I'm getting thrown in here like freaking 2 weeks before it's supposed to happen, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, here we go. So I was just kind of like along for the ride overall. And my sister, she's in a lot of traveling. She's been to a lot of places. She's been to Paris. She's been to Japan. She's been to a lot of really cool places. And so she wasn't worried at all. Thankfully, she was there because I needed that confidence. It was so nice to have somebody. She's like, I've never been to Vegas, but I've been to some places and like, we'll figure this out one way or the other. We're getting there. No issues. Like, she was very confident of everything. So like, that was very nice. It was very nice. We get there. It was like 10 in the morning by the time we get there. Took us a little bit to get to the hotel, and then once we got to the hotel, we stayed at the Luxor, by the way. We get to the check-in counter, and one of the first things we see was this right behind me. It's this cool sign here. Welcome to fabulous Borregas. It was really cool, and so there was a bunch of people already hanging out around it, and a lot of Army was hanging out around it, taking their pictures and having a good time. It was actually pretty hard to get a picture of the inflatable here with nobody in front of it, but we got it done. Dropped our stuff off, and like I said, it was super early when we left, so everyone's kind of tired. My brother and his wife went to sleep. They're like, we're gonna, pass out for a little bit before we go do stuff. My sister and I were like, well, I wasn't able to because it was 2 weeks before I was going. I wasn't able to pre-order any merch. So I was like, I want to get some merch while I'm here. I better head for the lines. So the first thing we did was head to the merch lines. And oh my goodness. So our hotel was super close to the venue, and it took maybe 15 minutes walking to get to the merch store, maybe 20 minutes. And so honestly, it wasn't too bad at all. It wasn't very far. The rough part was how hot it was. I am not a hot person. I do not like heat. I love the cold. I'm way more for cold. It was like mid 90s to upper 90s there, and I was dying. It was so bad. But she was smart. My sister was smart, and she packed an umbrella. We had sunscreen and stuff. So, I mean, we lived. It was fine. Thankfully, we had my smart sister there because she warned me, it's going to be hot. You might want to bring up an umbrella. And what did I do? Not bring an umbrella. I'm a fucking dumbass. And everywhere we looked, people with umbrellas all over the place. There's like, look at all these smart people here, and here I am being a fucking dumbass right now. Anyways, so we're on our way to the merch, and like, there's a pretty thick line, I guess, like a pretty decent sized line, all the way to the merch area. And once we got there, we walk in the tent, and it was just instantly, there's like 3 or 4 booths that were just open. They're like, what do you want? I chose a few things, and then they're like, boom, go on over there to the checkout area. And the checkout area, it was crazy because it was like, you took your stuff, you set it on a counter. Basically, whatever the computer does, wherever you set it, it's like the Amazon store. It knows what you have. All of a sudden, it's like your total's this. You scan your card, you're done. You're out of there. It was crazy quick. We didn't wait in line. We literally walked in the tent, grabbed whatever the stuff we wanted, paid for it, and was gone. It was crazy. It was super cool, super quick. It was really nice. We had a fun time. So my sister and I come out of the merch area, and right around the corner, there was a photo op area. And it was the Arirang logo, like 3 little inflatables that you could stand in front of and take a picture. Basically, it looked like this here. Looked, just like this. Except for they were inflatables. It was really fun. So we headed back to the hotel to meet up with my brother and his wife, who, I don't know if you guys know or not, but they're Septosaurus Rex. I'll have a link down for them below. They're the ones that actually got me and my sister into BTS to begin with. They've been checking them out and doing videos and reviews on them for years now. So they know about BTS. They know a lot more than I do. And then my sister got way more into it than I did. They introduced me to BTS, but I'm like, they were cool. I liked them, but for some reason, I just didn't really get into it. I never really checked them out more than, them mentioning it and showing me a few songs, and I liked it, and I just kind of left it at that. Now here we are, going to a concert, and I wasn't quite sure what we were going to get into. But anyways, we get back to the hotel, we wake them up, we tell them about our experience and how we had a good time, and then we decide we're going to walk around the hotel a little bit and just kind of check stuff out, because this is like a big hotel. Like I said, I've never really been to a place like this before. I've been to regular hotels, like fucking Motel 8 and stuff like that, but nothing like this. There's like a whole casino inside. There's multiple stores, there's shops, there's bars, like a bunch of stuff. So we decide we're going to walk around the hotel a little bit and check some stuff out. And like it was impressive, but also kind of wasn't in this at the same time. Like structurally and everything, and like how much stuff they shoved in there and just how big everything was, very impressive. It was really cool. Like, for example, look at this here. Like, look at this. It's massive. That's so tall. And back there, all this stuff that you can see, like way back here, these are all rooms and like little balconies that people stay on. Like you can stand up there and just kind of watch over everything. It was pretty cool. You can see here, freaking look at that. They got like a little obelisk in there. They got the Sphinx. They have some kind of like a temple. And then there's the casino. And this is the part where I wasn't impressed. And like, I'm not really a gambling type of person anyways. So maybe that's part of it. But the casino was very depressing. And like these lights, like no matter what time of day, this is exactly what it felt like all day. It was just dark and dim. And there was just people constantly smoking, drinking, and pushing their button for the slots. That's all it was. And I've never been to a casino before. My state doesn't really have gambling, so I've never really experienced it before. But so everything I know is from the movies. And in the movies, they make it look like we ding 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 ding. Whoa, whoa, big winner, jackpot. Oh, look at this. Ding 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 ding. Just noises and sounds and just stuff going on constantly. Bells ringing. You just hear stuff going crazy. And like, was not that at all. Just so you know, this was Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day weekend plus a BTS concert. It was busy. There was people everywhere. But look at this casino. It was dead. Yes, this is also only one casino. It's at the Luxor. Maybe these casinos are lame and that's why people aren't here. I'm not sure. But it wasn't that good. I didn't like it. And like it was very depressing because, for example, we're walking around, right? We're walking around, we're just checking stuff out and we're like, oh, we're kind of hungry now that we're here. We're kind of getting settled. So we're like, where do we go? Let's leave and get something to eat. We leave. We go to Chinatown, we find this delicious hot pot place, and it takes a while. We're there for a long time, having a good time, chatting, talking, and it's like hour and a half, 2 hours later, we come back through the casino here, and everyone is just in the same spot. The same people we saw were sitting there, smoking their cigarettes, drinking their drinks, pushing their button like a little freaking zombie. Like, nothing had changed. No one was winning money. There was the little ticket booth area where you turn in your little tickets to get money. That was empty. Nobody was winning anything. At least it didn't seem like it. It was just depressing, honestly. It just smelled like stale smoke. Nobody was really having a good time. You could see the BTS fans just kind of like walking around because, of course, that's not what we're there for. We're spending enough money on merch and stuff like that. We don't have money to spend for gambling. We're not doing stuff like that. And so the people who went there to do Vegas stuff did not seem like they were having fun. I don't know if I'd really want to come to Vegas and do like Vegas stuff. The concert was amazing. I had a great time doing that and meeting all the fans and stuff. But this whole part of it, the gambling, I'm just not a big fan. And even by the end, even after I was leaving, I was like, should I use a machine? Should I gamble just to say I did it? Just to say I rolled some slots? And I couldn't convince myself to do it. Like, I think it was like $1 to buy in or something like that, like $1, and I didn't even want to spend $1. I didn't want to spend anything on it just to say I did it. Just like did not appeal to me at all. So yeah, we went to Hot Pot, which looks like this here. Personally, I've never had it before here, and my family was like, "What? You've never had Hot Pot? Stuff's so good, we got to get it." We were going to go to a Korean barbecue place that was right under where this place was. But oh my gosh, was that place packed. And we were hungry now. So we ended up going to this hot pot place and it was delicious. It was like kind of like an all you can eat thing. It was like a set price per person. I think it was like $35 or something like that per person. So honestly, it's not too bad. And then it's just order everything and anything you freaking want. And you can just keep it coming. And I ate so much food. It was so good. I probably shouldn't have eaten as much as I did, but I couldn't stop it. I had to. The place, if anyone's interested, is called Chulankan Hot Pot. It was a delicious place, and I recommend anyone in the area definitely check it out. It was so good. Anyways, enough rambling. After Hot Pot, we're all nice and full, and we're still kind of sleepy, honestly, after the long day. We didn't do a ton. That first day we got there, we kind of like walked around a little bit more. checked out some of the local stores. There were so many stores there. There's like a cute little K-pop pop-up that was in there, and we did not have time for that. That line was long. It was a very long line. But we checked out some other stores and had a good time, and then went to bed. And then day 2. So day 2 is mostly the experience that I want to share with you. Day 2 was crazy because this was the day that I was gonna, because like traveling day, I just kind of dressed in my regular clothes, whatever. Day 2, everyone's dressing all cute and stuff for the concert and getting ready, and I wanted to do the same. And this was the day that I was gonna, dress as myself and express myself how I wanted to express myself, and I was super nervous. But my family made it a lot better. So we were getting ready. Actually, I think about it, I've never been dressed in front of my family before. And they know about it, and they definitely support it 100%, but I'm still scared, I'm still nervous, just because of kind of where I live and what I've experienced and what I read online and stuff. And like I said, I'm worried because I don't pass, and my voice isn't really that good. Like, I haven't done much work on it, and just I've kind of been depressed and not really done much with myself on what I want to do. And so I get dressed and I get ready, and everyone's super excited for me. And my brother's wife and my sister helped me with my makeup a little bit, and do what they can do. And ends up, my brother, his hair was just kind of going crazy. They couldn't control it, and we didn't bring hairspray. And so we needed to go get some hairspray from one of the nearby convenience stores, which was still inside the hotel, because like I said, there's a bunch of stores in this thing. And so we're like, hey, let's go get some hairspray. And I'm like, this would be a really good like first outing for me, a good little like preview of how I'm going to do or how I'm going to feel about this. We get ready to go, and we open the door. I'm super nervous. Everyone can see how nervous I am. They're like, calm down. It's going to be fine. We're here with you. Everyone here in Vegas is here on their own accord, doing whatever the heck they're doing. They are not going to pay us any mind. And so we leave the room. We walk down the hall. We get closer and closer to the main area where everyone is, where you can see this beautiful background. There's people everywhere. We get there, and there's people everywhere. And I'm super nervous. I just kind of keep my head down and like follow my family. We get to the store. We buy the hairspray, head back to the room, get to the room. That was that. It was that simple. Nothing happened. I was kind of looking around, trying not to make eye contact with anybody, but kind of like keeping my peripherals open and just kind of like seeing if anyone's like gauging me or looking at me or paying me any mind. And I mean, there might have been someone, but I didn't see anyone. And like, nobody gave a single shit. No one cared at all. I was just walking around, expressing myself how I want. And like where I live, I've always been scared to express myself. I just kind of keep myself, monotone and reserved and try to blend in, I guess, with my surroundings instead of standing out. Yeah, it actually went really well. The first outing, I was like, wow, that wasn't too bad. Like, nobody said anything. Like, nothing happened. So I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, let's try this for the rest of the day. And so we finished getting ready. We were all good to go. We're looking cute. We're all ready for the concert. Of course, that was going to be much later in the day, in the evening. And so we're like, let's do some stuff. Let's walk around. Let's visit some stores, and let's go check some stuff out. We started by going to the aquarium. We went to Mandalay Bay. It was really cool. I had a good time. Once again, nobody second guessed. Nobody said anything to me while I was there. I was nervous because we were like around a lot of people, and like there was a possibility I might bump into people and have to interact. And in fact, that did happen a few times. I bumped into people. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, oh, it's no problem. Everyone was very friendly. We were even like, we bought a few souvenirs from the aquarium store. And when I was checking out, I even got mammed, which was super exciting, made me super excited, made me super giddy. And right after that experience, my sister was like, oh, really close to here, Army is having a meetup, and they're giving out freebies, and it's going to be a good fun time. And I was like, freebies? What the heck is this? What are you talking about? Apparently, Army, being the supportive, amazing people that they are, they spend their time before a concert making little freebies for everybody. For example, my sister, she made bracelets with all the members' names on it, just a separate bracelet for everybody, made like 30 of each of them or more. I don't know, a ton of them. She made a ton of bracelets, and then got a bunch of special pictures printed off on like nice quality photo paper. She started passing them out to people. We met up with this group, and she's like, let's check it out. Let's go say hi to some people. And she's like, oh, I got so many freebies. She gave me some, and my brother and his wife, she gave all of us some freebies to go pass out and, kind of talk to people and stuff. And so I was once again very super nervous, very, very nervous. And I'm like, oh no, now I actually have to interact with people, not just like a little like, oh, hey, how's it going? And just pass on, like, oh, little head nod or something like that. It's like, now I'm going to go up and like talk to people. I was so nervous. She gives me some of the freebies, and we all kind of like split up and start passing stuff out. I'm just like, and like, I mean, everyone else was doing it too. There's like, oh, hey, want some freebies? Hey, want some freebies? So I was like, yeah, sure. Okay. I go up to someone, I'm like, hey, would you like some freebies? They're like, oh yeah, sure. I'll take some. And so like, hand them a bracelet or whatever. And they're like, oh, would you like some freebies? And I'm like, sure, I'll take them. And so we just started like passing stuff out. And like, I was talking to Army, and like, everyone was super friendly. Everyone was super nice. Eventually I realized I'm not even worried about it. I'm not worried about like how people perceive me. I'm just worried about like passing all these freebies, and I'm starting to run out of freebies, and I'm like, oh no, I'm getting low on freebies. What am I going to do? And like eventually gets to the point where like someone's like, oh, you want a freebie? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, I'll take one, but I ran out. I don't have any more. And they're like, oh, it's no problem. It's no problem. Who's your bias? Which one do you want? Type stuff. And I was like, oh, well, I'll go ahead and take gin. And come to find out, like my sister, when she asked if I wanted to go, she was like, okay, do you have any favorite BTS member? And I'm like, if I'm going to a concert, then I need to make sure I know who these people are, at least get like an idea. And so I did a little bit of digging, did some research. I checked out, everyone's kind of individual album. I checked out, some of their more popular songs, some of their less popular songs. I just kind of like checked out the band in general, tried to get a little better idea of all the different members and stuff. And like, oh my goodness, everyone is just so skilled and like amazing. Honestly, like the entire group, all 7 of them are so cool. And like, oh my gosh, it was so hard. I was like, oh, I know what I'll do. Let's see who my favorite is. I'll go ahead and rank them. Terrible idea. It was such a terrible idea. I was like, okay, listen to the first person. I listened to RM first, and like checked out his stuff, and then like checked him out in the band and, doing his stuff. And I was like, okay, he's pretty cool. And started checking out everybody else. And like, the further I got, it's like, I can't rank these guys. They're all amazing. They're all super cool in their own way. And like, if you're looking at their individual albums, they all do their own thing. They're all completely different. Like you can't rank these guys against each other. So like, it was so hard. I was like, I guess if there was like a gun held up against my head, I would choose either Jin or Jimin. And, because they're both amazing. I mean, they're all amazing. They're all amazing. It was so hard. The more I kind of got to know them and like look into them, I feel like my bias is, especially now that everything's over, it's Jin. I really like Jin. He's just so cute. He's funny. He's super like serious, but also like silly. Like, and like you can tell, like, I don't know if he's necessarily the glue that holds everyone together, but like, I just like how he plays off of everybody. And he's just, I don't know. I love him. He's so cute, but like everyone else is just as amazing. Honestly, like you got like Jimin. Oh, and during this concert with his long hair, oh my gosh, it was beautiful. I've never seen such a beautiful man before. Like, yes, Jin is worldwide handsome, but Jimin with that hair, I could not. It was crazy. It was such a good concert. Anyways, we're not there yet. I eventually got to the point where I wasn't worried about like how I was being perceived. I was worried about just running out of stuff to give people for free. Luckily, my sister's a fucking badass and had me covered and was like, here's some free stuff, hand some stuff out. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had anything to give out to begin with. I would have felt so bad. Meeting up Army, it was a breath of fresh air. Because like where I live, everyone's just kind of like jerks, honestly. Like everyone's just conceited and hateful and very like conservative, you know, the general MAGA, unfortunately, not to bring politics into this, but just bad people. Meeting the army, everyone was just so loving and stuff. And like, not once, like, I was a little worried that, like, you know, maybe someone would come up and like looking down at their freebies, like, oh, hey, would you like a freebie? And then like look up to me and like, oh, I see. But like, that didn't happen once. Not once. Yeah, I'm like, would you like a freebie? They're like, yeah. And they're like, would you like a freebie? And I'm like, yeah, I'll take a freebie. And so it's just like, it was just super friendly. Like, no one gave me a second glance, a second thought or anything. We interacted. We had a good little chat. And then it was the next person and the next person. And it was just a really good time. It was awesome. It was absolutely amazing. And that was just like the first of a couple different meetups. And like, the more fans we met, because they were all over the place. You could see them because everyone was decked out in their concert attire, or they had their light sticks and everything, their army bombs. You could tell, you could see who Army was and like where they were. It was a really cool experience just seeing everybody, honestly. So we kind of bummed around and checked other stuff out throughout the day. We went to a couple different stores and stuff, just kind of like had a good time meeting up with people. We were planning on getting some tattoos done just to commemorate the event. That didn't quite work out. By the time we went to get the tattoos, we got to the line, and outside it didn't look too bad. We're like, oh, heck yeah, we're just running in, get some tattoos real quick. We opened the door. What the heck were we thinking? Everyone's thinking the same idea. That line was insane. We did not have enough time before the concert to get it done. And so we were like, well, what are we going to do? It was at an awkward time where we didn't really have enough time to go back to the hotel, but we didn't really have time to go and do something else, really. So we're like, I guess let's get like some kind of snack or something like that, and then we'll head to the venue and like hang out there. We'll go like right when they open, get through the doors, and find our seats, get some food in the stadium and stuff, and like talk to people and hang out and stuff. So we found a spot to eat, and like we kind of hung out and just like sat around for a little bit. Then my brother and his wife got the surprise of a lifetime. We're just sitting there, we're hanging out. Some army comes up and they're like, oh, hey, are you Army? And we're like, oh yeah, we're Army. They're like, oh, you want some freebies? And we're like, oh yeah, sure, we'll take some freebies. Yeah, my sister had restocked. She got the rest of her freebies. We were going to hand them out in the line and stuff for the concert. And so while we were just sitting there waiting, there was tons of Army around because we were still pretty close to the stadium. One of them was just like, hey, are you Army? And came over to us. We're like, oh yeah, we're Army. And they looked down to grab one of their items out of the bag to give to us. And then they look up and they notice my brother and they're like, oh, wait a second. I know you. Septosaurus, you're Septa, you're Soar. It was just a really cool interaction to, actually for them to meet fans on the street and their Army. It was just super cool. And so they took a couple pictures and we talked to them for a little bit. It was super awesome meeting some of their fans. After that, we just had more and more Army keep walking up to us, and like it was just really cool experience, just how friendly everybody was. After that, we ended up getting in line, and there were 65,000 people that showed up to this concert on the Las Vegas day 2. We went to the day 2. And there were 65,000 people there. That's more than the population of the entire city I live in. Like, it was crazy. It was more people, I think, than I've ever been around. By this point, I wasn't even nervous anymore. Like, I was like, wearing a dress, feeling good about myself, and like, nobody was paying me any mind, and like the mind they were paying, it was just like, hey, you want some freebies? Oh, hey, you guys are looking good. It's just a breath of fresh air to meet all these people that were so like-minded, such amazing people. I had such a good time. We were waiting in line. The line was moving quick. As we were moving, we were just trying to talk to as many people as we can. We were like handing out as many freebies as we could, trying to get rid of everything. And we were just getting just as many freebies. We were running out of pockets and stuff to hold all the stuff. It was crazy how much stuff we got. We finally get inside, and like it was just people everywhere. We were like, let's get some food, because we heard that the vendors were gonna have like a special food, like a special like Korean hot dog and like a Korean Philly and stuff. And so we were trying to find like the food area, and like, oh my goodness, good thing we went in right away, right when they opened, because there was almost no time to get this food. It was like crazy. Like we went in like 2 hours early and like the lines were just so long. There were people everywhere. It took forever to walk anywhere, but everyone was so friendly. Everyone was so nice. There were no issues. I didn't hear no arguing. I didn't hear no fighting. It was amazing. While we're walking around, this is like what we see, like when we like glance towards the stage. Like, look at how high up this is. Like, it's crazy. And like, look how big that stage is. And like, you can see all the empty rafters. No one's really sitting down yet. And like, you could just feel the excitement and tension in the air. Like, everyone was so pumped to be there. Like, they're like, we've been waiting so long for this. We're going to have such a good time. This here is by the time like everyone was starting to sit down, like not, you can still see there's like empty spots everywhere. The concert obviously hadn't started yet. We were still early. This was still probably like 30 minutes or so before the concert was supposed to start. So people were still walking around, trying to get merch, trying to get some food. You know, you're just kind of like checking stuff out, doing the freebie thing and whatnot. And this is when they came out. Like, oh my gosh, everything turned red. Everything got fucking exciting. Yes, this is when everyone started like coming out. This was the start of the show. Like, it was super exciting. Everything was like starting to get pumped. And then I just have a few pictures I want to show you here. I mean, it was the concert. I mean, I could go through all the concert pictures I took if that's something you guys were interested in, but that wasn't quite so much the point of the story. But anyways, so yeah, like Jimin looked so good, and we just had such a good time. There's Jin with that beautiful face of his, worldwide handsome. Got a good picture of RM. This is what it looked like there. Like, look at that. You can just feel the tension. Yes, it was so good. It was so good. You can see there, obviously this is where I was sitting. You can see how high up I was and everything. So it's kind of like the nosebleeds, but oh my gosh, did we have such a good time. And like, you could still see pretty good. And my phone took some pretty good pictures. So if you look here, like you can still see who these people were with how zoomed in I was. So as you can see here, you can see the edge of the stage right there, or at least one of the edges of the stage right there. Right here is where they were standing, that edge of the stage. You can see how close they were. So you saw where the edge of the stage was. And then this is a picture with my camera I took on my phone. Like, I don't even have a fancy camera or nothing, just my phone camera. And like, you could see, you can tell who it is, you know, like they were pretty good pictures. And like, I zoomed in, like, look at that. Look how good that is. Yes, it's definitely like a little pixely and blurry, but especially that one. But it was just great. It was a really good time. And lots of energy. Lots of amazing people I met. I met lots of amazing people. You can kind of get like a blurry picture of Jim in there. Had to get a picture of Jin blowing a kiss. So cute. Just everyone. And then I tried to get a picture at the end when everyone's, you know, saying thank you for coming and everything. So here's a few pictures I took towards the end. So good. So good. But, and then here is all of my good chunk of all my freebies. And just like, look at all this amazing stuff Army made. Like, they're all so talented. They're all so good. We got like poker chips. They made, I got a bunch of different tickets made down here. We got a bunch of Jin pics. And like, you got anything from like, you know, like the nice sexy pictures over here. We got like the silly pictures. We got like, they made like a little dollar bills, tons of bracelets. Like, it's just amazing. Like, the amount of creativity Army has it blows my mind. And how friendly everybody is. They were just like, all the most friendly people I've ever met. Like, it was just such a great time. I guess, long story short, thank you to BTS, thank you to Army, thank you to, you know, Septosaurus, thank you to my sister. I want to say thank you to everybody, because I had such an amazing time. I had no idea what I was going to be getting into, but I'm so glad I went. I'm so glad that my family encouraged me to not be worried about who I am, and like, you know, encouraged me that letting me know that this was going to be a safe space, and that, they had my back if it wasn't, but that they've been dealing with Army for years now, and they know how amazing these people are. Just thank you so much. Thank everybody so much. It was an amazing time. I'm glad that, I'm part of the Army now. Like, I'm sad that I didn't get into these guys sooner. Like, the fan base, the people I met, I met the most amazing people ever. It was great. And it was so relieving. Like, it helped. Like, I feel like saying it changed my life is kind of like, oh, what do you mean a concert changed your life? Meeting some people changed your life? But like, it did. Like, it changed my entire outlook on everything. Like, I had been going downhill, I feel like, for so long, and just like depressed and like just inside my own head for so long, that meeting all these people brought myself back out again. It reminded me who I am and what I want to be, and that what I want to be isn't terrible, and that I am accepted. Doing research, looking into these guys, looking into BTS and what they've come through. I don't even know half the story. Seeing like interviews where, RM, he's usually the one who speaks for everybody. He learned English first and everything. And then during interviews and stuff, V or Jimin or whatever, there's like, no, you talk. And you could see how nervous they were. They're like, my English isn't that good. I'm scared. But like, they pushed through it, and, they gave us little speech or whatever. Like, they had their group behind them. And like, I was very uncomfortable at the beginning of, that day. And at the end of the day, it was just so stress free. I had such a good time. And like, I learned so much. I feel like I've been complacent. I've been like in my safe zone, and just kind of like put everything about myself on the back burner, because, if I don't pay attention to myself, if I don't, acknowledge myself, then I can kind of like hide from myself type thing. I feel like I've been in like a safe space for too long. I realized that, yes, I was uncomfortable, going out that day. I was uncomfortable, doing this stuff, just like, other people are uncomfortable doing stuff. Even, people big as BTS, they get uncomfortable and nervous doing stuff that they're not used to doing. But, you do it, you go through it, you live with the uncomfortableness, and then it's eventually not uncomfortable anymore. It's just like a good time. I've learned that like, at times you need to be uncomfortable to grow. And, that's not something I was doing. Like, I feel like I've learned so much. And like, I want to learn more. I'm ready to, take control of my life. I'm ready to, not care what other people think. I'm ready to just finally, be me and do what I need to do to make myself happy. And it's because of BTS and Army that I'm feeling this way and realizing this stuff about myself. And so just thank you all. Thank you, everybody that gave me such a good experience. It was a life-changing event. The people I met, I will never forget. I will never forget this concert. I will never forget, anything. This was amazing. It was the best group of fans I've ever met in my entire life. So I guess that's my story. That's what I wanted to share with you. Just that I had an amazing time. I went to BTS. I didn't even think I was going to BTS. I didn't know really anything about these guys before I went. And then it just changed my whole perspective, my whole life. It changed everything. And I'm just, extremely grateful for this opportunity and this experience. So thank you all so much. I guess if you'd like to see more videos like this, where I just kind of like talk or vlog or whatever, let me know. I'd be down to, put out more experiences and to kind of let you know like other stuff about me, if that's what you guys are interested in. This is my first time, so sorry if it's like super rambly and stuff. I've never really done this before. I wrote out like exactly what I wanted to say, but like doing it and like rehearsing it, and it wasn't right. So I more just did like some bulletin points of what I wanted to touch on, and then talked, and then kind of sounded rambly and stuff. So, but anyways, let me know if you guys liked the video. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button, hit that bell notification so every time I post a new video, and I will see you guys next time. And yes, I'm excited to be Baby Army now. I'm excited to see where this goes in the future. Thank you all again. Bye.